Hello and welcome to another video with Gamers Class, guys. This is Shizzy, and today we're gonna be going through the topic 5 bad habits of Dota players. Now, you guys saw this coming, I'm pretty sure. I made a video on the 5 good habits to have as a Dota player to increase your MMR, and this video is gonna be about 5 bad habits that a Dota player could have and potentially is one of the reasons why his MMR is low or not increasing. So, without further ado, let's get right into it.
If you like this kind of content, go to gamersguys.com. For just $10 a month, get your replays analyzed, watch masterclasses with pro players, join weekly coaching sessions, win prizes, and more with our Supreme Dota 2 membership.
So the first would be just playing one role all their lifetime in Dota. Okay? Now, I don't mean that you should not master a certain role. Don't get me wrong here. You should master a role and you should be the best at it, and potentially that is the role that you want to play if you're joining a team or something. But to increase your Dota knowledge and to increase your map awareness, hero awareness, almost everything, you have to play different roles, different heroes, and just get to know the heroes better. And the theory for this is because, let's say you are a mid-only player, okay? And you don't know what an offlane Mars does. What's his timings? Because you've never played the hero. Yes, you might have watched a few videos, a few streams, a few replays of Mars offlaner, but you don't exactly know his timings. You don't exactly know what his spells does. You don't exactly know how strong or how weak he is on the offlane, how his lane's gonna go, how much you should gank him, and these kind of things. Once you start playing the hero, you start to realize what counters it, what makes him so strong, what makes him so weak, and this just goes for every hero and every role. Before I started playing all roles, I only used to play mid, and I had no idea how strong an offlaner is, how strong a carry is, how strong supports are, what their timings are, where they place wards. But as I grew in Dota, I realized that I had to play other roles as well. And once I started playing support, offlane, carry, and all these roles, I realized that my Dota knowledge started to go up. It really went up, and my MMR at the same time also started to go up, because I would just know the timings, weaknesses, and strengths of most heroes in my games. I did not know how to counter a Husker because I've never played Husker myself. I just thought it was a very low skilled hero to play. But once I started playing a few games on Husker, I realized it's not that strong. I got dumpstered really hard, and I realized, okay, so this is exactly what I have to do as well. When I was getting dumpstered, I was learning that, okay, so this is how I got dumpstered. This is exactly what I have to do against the Husker as well, right? And that's what I did, and I would start owning Husker. Before that, theoretically, I knew how to counter a Husker, but I had a 50-50 chance, and I used to think Husker is broken. Like, he's just very strong. The same case is for Broodmother. I never played Brood myself. And once I started playing a bit of it, and I got dumpstered a few games, I realized it's not that strong. And this goes for every hero. No matter how much you know theoretically how to counter a hero, you need to know how to counter them practically as well. And there's two ways of doing it: playing against the hero and playing the hero yourself. These are the best two ways to understand matchups and counters to any hero. Dota is a lengthy game, and yes, there's about more than 100 heroes in this game. And I think as a Dota player, as a good Dota player, if you want to get to Immortal, you at least need to know how to play 40 to 50 heroes. At least. I would recommend playing every single hero and learning every single hero. But even 40 to 50 gets the job done, because every meta has its own heroes. Second one is sharing experience in a lane for no reason. This is what most supports do, and not only do you ruin your side laner's game, but you actually ruin your own game with this as well. Now, if you're sharing XP in the lane, alright, as a position 5, you don't deny a lot of creeps. So the enemy on the offlane, let's say it's an offlane scenario, the enemy is gonna deny more creeps, right? Because position 4s are naturally more stronger than position 5s. they're gonna deny more creeps, which will eventually just lead you into having low XP, which will also lead your carry into having low XP, and then your carry will have a hard time and he will baby rage. And the only one to blame is you, not your carry, not anyone else, you. These kind of scenarios, what you can do is you can go pull, or you can just go back. If you're not giving any impact in the lane as a support, do not share experience for no reason. Just do not. It's better to stay level 1 or level 2 and let your carry be level 4 or 5 than just both of you being level 3 or both of you just being level 2 and the enemies are level 4, both of them, and they're just running at you. It's better to at least let your carry have a good game. Once your carry has a good game, he will move into the jungle, he will give you the lane, and then you can get some experience, right? So as a support, you have to play around your core. If you don't, then probably the support role is not for you. You have to make sure your carry is happy and he's having a good time. If he starts baby raging, it's most of the times it's your fault. Sometimes he could just be a toxic moron, but in most cases, you probably didn't support him right, which led him to just losing his mind, and you lost the game as a support. And you start thinking, oh, it's impossible to increase MMR as a support. I'm gonna play carry myself, so I don't baby rage. But then you're gonna get a support just like you, who's gonna share experience, and then it's the same all over. So the change has to come within you. The change has to be in you to see it in your games as well. Once you start bringing in these changes, you will increase MMR, and then you will see, even if you go carry, your supports will also know these kind of things. There's a lot of things that you need to change and improve to get to a certain bracket. Sometimes you believe that you're stuck in a certain bracket because, oh, this guy's throwing, or this guy's baby raging, or this guy doesn't know how to play carry, or there's just a lot of reasons. But the main reason, and the actual legitimate reason, is that you just don't know a lot of mechanics and a lot of things in the game, and you're not willing to improve or change, and that's why you're stuck in a certain bracket. Once you start to change and improve on, especially on this factor as a support, sharing experience for no reason, just being there, being low level, eventually you start feeding in the lane as well, which gives the enemy more golden experience as well. This is something that you have to change. It's a very bad habit, just being a burden in lane. The third bad habit of most Dota players is saving a friend. It's basically called save a friend syndrome in Dota. Now, what this is basically that most people have this. Now, you will see professional players or high-ranked players, they don't have this, especially the core players. A mid player will never try to save his position 4. A mid player will never try to save his position 5. Even at sometimes he will not try to save his carry as well. Sometimes he might, because the carry is the most important hero. But in most scenarios, cores, they just never put themselves in bad spots. They will either fight together or they will get back together. But they will never save people. You should never save people. Dota is a role-playing game in a way, and you have to do your role and you have to do your job. And your job as a core, especially as a core, is not saving people. That is the support's job, and let the support do it. And some supports should also not do it. In a way where a position 5 is dying, and a position 4 tries to save him, position 5 dies, then the position 4 dies, that's like a chain feed. The enemy realizes, okay, 2 supports are dead, we can either force their buybacks, or we could go Roche. We go Roche, if they buy back, we back. If they don't buy back, we get a free Roche. Because without supports, there's no way that these guys can contest Roshan, right? So normally you think, oh, I'm just a support. Oh, I'm just going to go help. Oh, I'll try to help my teammate. But eventually, if the enemy are smart, they're actually going to abuse the chain feed that you're going to do. And most core players in the lower brackets actually do this as well. I've noticed when I was playing on my legend bracket games, a lot of position 1s would die for their support. A lot of mid players would die for their offlaners. And I would think it's very stupid to do this. And eventually, one guy would try to save the other, and the other would try to save the other, and it would become a feed frenzy. And the enemy would just kill everyone one by one. This also happens in my Immortal games. And this is just a thing that you have to get out of your head. You don't have to be nice. Dota is not real life. You don't have to save people. If they're dying, just let them die. Focus on your game. And don't be a hero. farm, carry the game, and be a hero in that way. Fourth thing, we all know this, but nobody really wants to work on it, or I guess talk about it, and that is being toxic. Now, there are some players I would say that do deserve a mouthful of hearing. Don't get me wrong. There are just some players who I would personally like to yell at. I'm pretty sure you guys would like to yell at them too, right? But if you get into theory and if you get into the depth of this topic, being toxic, what benefits does it give you? Nothing. The only thing that happens is when you're flaming someone or you're getting mad at someone, it just increases your blood pressure. You lose your focus on the game. Okay. Your hands are on the keyboard most of the times, or on the mic. Regardless, you've lost your focus, and your chances of winning the game now are even lower. Now, I think also being toxic has its own karma as well. I'm a big believer of karma. I believe if you do something wrong or something negative, it will take place eventually in your life. So if you end up flaming someone, even if they deserved it, even if they threw the game, even if they broke their items, maybe 2, 3, 4 games down later, you will meet a toxic person who is flaming you. If you won't, you might get a report that your conduct summary will fall down, or you will get into low priority, or something bad will happen because you were already doing a bad thing. Now, what I recommend in your pubs is if somebody is down to throw the game, or breaking items, or just going AFK, or just griefing, what I recommend is to open up the mic and try to talk it out with him, or just type it that, hey man, relax, we can win this, or something like that. Give him some positivity, and if he still does not respond, and if he's still toxic, just mute him and focus on your game, right? If you're the kind of person who plays 1 or 2 games a day, then it's gonna be really hard for you, because if you play the first game of the day and you get a toxic teammate, your day is pretty much ruined, right? But most people, they play at least 4 to 5 games of Dota a day, and if one is ruined, it's completely fine. Just focus on the next games. That's all that matters. And you just gotta win more than you lose to increase MMR. And I will tell you, being toxic is never gonna help you. Being toxic is like, it becomes a habit. Every habit, you started once, and without your knowledge, you're just doing it subconsciously or unconsciously. This goes for a lot of bad habits actually, outside of Dota as well. Like smoking, alcohol, you name it. Any bad habit, seriously. You started once just for fun, just to make your friends laugh, or just to have a fun time with your friends, and boom, it's now an addiction. So being toxic in Dota eventually somewhat also becomes an addiction. Somebody will miss his stun, and you will eventually end up cursing his entire family, because you're just so toxic and you don't even realize it. Okay, so that's the fourth thing. Most Dota players, just have it really bad in them, and it's something that you have to change. And the fifth thing, which is somewhat relevant to the first topic of the video, is not knowing what to pick. Now, I've talked about it in this video as well, playing one role all your life. It's somewhat relevant to not knowing what to pick. Now, while I was playing in the legend bracket, I realized that people would just pick Zeus into anti-mage. People would pick Storm Spirit into anti-mage. People will pick Morphling into Lions and Shamans, and people will pick Morphling mid with Terrorblade on the safe lane, or anti-mage on the safe lane. Most people just don't know what to pick, and they're just picking heroes because either it's their best hero, or they feel like playing that hero, and that is a very wrong approach to increase MMR. You have to look at the game, you have to look at counters, you have to look at your own counters, and you have to look at the matchups. And now, if you're a beginner, if you just started the game, obviously it's going to be very hard to know the exact counters, but once you get a hold on the game, you will start to understand counters and how to think about them. Every hero has its own counters, and as you play them, and as you grind on certain heroes, you will get to realize their counters, their weaknesses, and their strengths as the game goes on for you in Dota. The main point of this fifth pointer is you need to put in some thought when you're picking a certain hero, What am I gonna do? Who am I gonna kill? Who is gonna kill me in this game? Who is strong against me? What do my spells do? And how do my spells counter the other heroes, right? So you don't really have to be a Dota god to know what to pick. So let's say the enemy have really squishy heroes. I would just instantly pick Tiny. Why would I instantly pick Tiny? Because I could just burst them in one stun toss. I would pick Queen of Pain because I can just instantly burst them in one Scream of Pain and Sonic Wave, right? If we have no catch, what am I gonna do? I'm probably gonna pick a Storm Spirit at mid, or a catch hero at mid. Uh, this goes on and on and on, right? It's something that you have to like learn on your own, and as your games go on, the more games you play, the more you will learn. But you have to put in some thought in it. If you don't put any thoughts in it, you will never get to learn or improve on it, and you will stay in the same bracket as you are for a very long time. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope this video has helped you learn any bad habits that you have, or if your friends have them, you can tell them as well, and you can get rid of these bad habits. If you want to know the good habits, I made a video on that as well for Gamers Class. It's going to be on their website, I believe. You can watch that as well. And yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Shizzy signing out.